Okay, recording. Hi, y'all. I am Crystal out to you, your senior gold upline. And I wanted to talk to y'all tonight about systems for success. So, what are some systems, some daily things that might need to be in place before you could even be successful in this business? You know, we're reading on our team right now through 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth, I think that's the title, by John Maxwell. And one of the chapters is all on systems. He says he has a system and an organizational way and a tool to do everything. How he files quotes, how he highlights quotes, how he lays them down for his assistant to do that, how he does his calendar, every year, a system within a system within a system. And that is how he has become so successful. I do think I am very routine based. And so that was a chapter that I kind of really connected with because I'm not perfect at it by any means, but I've always had a system for efficiency because inefficiency drives me up the wall. And so I've realized though that not maybe everyone thinks that way. I know my husband doesn't think that way. I'm going to whisper. He doesn't think like that. And so I wanted to come to y'all and share and just give you some food for thought. And I really think that if you put some of this stuff to practice, your business will benefit from it. And so will your family life and your daily lifestyle. So basically everything needs a routine. What is a system? It's just a routine. It's a basic way and how to do things, whether that is what your whole day looks like. So in Plexus, I mean, you can work the business for 15 minutes. You can work the business for 3 or 4 hours. It depends on what your day looks like. But if you have 15 or 30 minutes a day, you can be successful in this business. Optimally is an hour, but that hour doesn't even have to be all in one spot. When I was working, people tell me all the time, I'm too busy. Oh, I just don't have the time. Well, I think there's a difference between being too busy and having the time and just not managing the time you do have well. Again, y'all know this, I was working, I was coaching, I was nursing a little one, and I would use my pump time. I mean, if I was pumping, I was plexusing, and I knew that I could plan on that time each day. I knew that I had a lunch time. I knew that I could sit in my car after softball practice, take 15 to 30 minutes away from my family before I got home, that was the time to change my life. If you don't have the time right now, that's why you need this business. That's why you have to be intentional with your time. You have to tell your time where to go. So that's like time blocking. And I'm home now, but I have a routine for every single part of the day. I know when we get up. I know when we should be eating breakfast. Hey, you guys, if y'all just got on, I can't see everyone. Hold on. Let me go through and mute. Okay. I think everyone's muted now. Anyway, I have a system for every part of the day. Now, sometimes I wake up late and I have to adjust. But you have to tell your time where to go. That means literally sit down and write it out. From 7 to 8 is quiet time. From 8 to 8:45 is getting the breakfast ready, getting the kids up. My kids know I wake them up. We don't go downstairs. I wake them up. We get dressed. We go brush our teeth. We do our hair and our teeth. We're dressed for our day. We do it all up the stairs so I don't have to go up and down, up and down. So where can you save yourself some steps? That's from kind of my serving background. I was a server through college, and they always talked about saving your steps. Get something for a couple tables each time you go to the kitchen instead of going back to the kitchen for each table that you're serving. Just that saving your steps mentality and reducing your effort. Work smarter, not harder. So that looks like you have to time block your day. So maybe you have 30 minutes for Plexus in the morning and you have 30 minutes for Plexus after your kids go to bed. You can be successful in this business, but you have to be intentional. And if it's Plexus time, you do Plexus. And if it is, y'all can't hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. If it is Plexus time, you do Plexus. If it is lunchtime, you do lunch. If it's TV time with your family, you do TV time or whatever that looks like. Maybe it's maybe we should say reading time. If it's reading a book time, then do that. But be intentional with your time. Tell your time where to go, or it's just going to be a big mess, right? And so have a routine for everything, even a system within a system. What does breakfast look like? It's faster for me to make the breakfast downstairs before I go upstairs and get the kids. And it's already cooled and waiting for them, and I don't have a kid hanging from me. So it's just about figuring those things out. Small progress is still progress. So don't try to do it all in one day. Pick apart, make the schedule, and the first 3 schedules might not work. You might have, I personally had 6 months trying to find a schedule around here and a routine that worked for us. And today I still didn't get my workout in. So we went and bought a couch instead. So it's still not going to be perfect, but you have something to work off of. And so basically you're starting on a higher playing field than where you are with no plan. So make the plan, write it down, and be intentional about it. Okay. That even goes with when you're in your plexus time. What does that look like? Okay. If you just get to the plexus time and say, okay, well now here's my plexus time, and you waste 15 minutes of your 30 trying to figure out what you need to do that day, then that's putting you behind. You have 30 minutes. I need to make the most of this 30 minutes. And that's where my, I don't care if you guys do my index card system. I saw it from a lot of Jules and Kelly Lee, and that's why I do it, because I saw it and I thought, that system I can do. That's what I need in my business. And it really helped my follow-up system. It helped my follow-ups. It helped my reach out. So I have a every day 1 through 31. And so today when it was plexus time, I pulled the day 5 cards. April 5th of the month. This is who I talked to today. I reached out to new people. That doesn't mean that I mentioned plexus to them. I friended people, and then I sent them a little blurb that I have on my phone saved of introducing myself. And I started new conversations today. So you don't necessarily have to be saying plexus, 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 plexus to 5 people, but you have to be building relationships, because this is a business building or a relationship business. That takes me into using your phone on your systems. Y'all aren't going to be able to see this probably I have all kinds of things stored in the notes section of my phone. I have my plexus testimony. So anytime you guys post about something that you need you need some POW on, I just go and copy that over. That saves me from typing it out every single time. And it still packs a lot of punch for you guys when I post it on your wall, or when I send it to potentials. People say, what is plexus? What has it done for you? I've never heard of it. Copy and paste. It's already done. So it's about saving time and working smarter, not harder. It's getting that system in place, getting those things saved in your phone. I have a plexus album on my phone, so I know where to find the plexus things that I use a lot. I'm not searching through my camera roll every single time, because that is going to take up a lot of my 30 minutes if that's all I have to work on plexus that day. If you don't want to use the literal index cards, my power partner uses an app called Trello, Trello, and it's like virtual index cards. She can color code them. She can put systems within systems. I think like she can label some people as like, I want to know more about plexus. Some people as I want to buy plexus, but they haven't bought yet. And then she has another category where they are on her team and she's following up with them, maybe on a different schedule. How you need to have a follow-up system. Okay, I follow up with them here. What kind of questions do I want to ask them? What information? You probably need to send them something about water around day 3 and remind them to be drinking half their body weight in water. When they start their 2 probiotics on day 5, if you're following my plan, then you maybe want to send them the article about what Candida die-off might look like for them, so that they don't get into it and think, oh, this is awful. Set them up for success and be proactive on the front end. What do you say when you reach out to someone? If someone new friends you, I have a whole little blurb saved in my phone copy and paste. I'm not reinventing the wheel every single time. Sometimes I'll tweak it if I know a little bit more about that specific person that might appeal to them. But other than that, I just copy it over and I start a conversation, and I just always try to bounce that ball back until I can say, have you heard about Plexus? And an elevator speech, a system for when people say to you in person, what is Plexus? I've never heard of that. Or how you work it into a conversation. You need to have that already in your mind, ready to rattle off about 20 seconds. It's a health and wellness company that works on gut health, blood sugar, and inflammation. It is changing lives. And then bring some of your story in. I was this and now I'm this, and it's amazing. So I just love to tell people about it. Friending them on your Facebook, a system for like, this is what my power partner told me about today, because this is a system I was lacking. I would add these people to my Facebook, not get them on a card, and then they would just be hanging out in my Facebook. So I never interacted with their page. I never worked on those Facebook algorithms. She said what she heard from another Jewel is when I add them to my Facebook, I get my phone back and she would screenshot it. And so she would have that in her gallery so that she knew to go home and put Courtney, whoever, on an index card and make sure that she was intentional with that relationship and with that algorithm on Facebook with Courtney. I'm going to start utilizing that. So wherever you are in the journey of creating this routine, you got to start with your family. You got to start getting your day or your evening, whatever you have with them, in alignment. They know when Plexus time is. They know, what the day looks like from breakfast to lunch to all day. And it's always going to maybe look a little bit different, but setting and establishing that routine with your family is going to really support you in being more intentional with your Plexus time. Then you start putting these systems in place for your business, whether that's my index cards or the Trello or organizing things on your phone. We're doing away with team pages, but in January, that was what I was trying to do. I knew our business was growing, or in March, I knew we were about to explode. And I said, I have got to take some time out of my IPA, and I've just got to focus on my team page and get some kind of system going to where I can send people there and say, go. And so it was already done. And then that duplication can start happening. And it makes my life easier, and I'm not recreating the wheel with every new level one that I start. I do the same, basic training using those tools that I already have in place. But if I wasn't intentional about setting those up, then I would just be on that hamster wheel, like trying to do the same things over and over and over again. So take the time out for your routine, because it pays off later. System, when we sign up a new ambassador, what do we need to start telling them? That's back to that team page and the training and setting up one face-to-face, setting up a group chat, dropping in the video, following up in the group, all of those things. It just needs to be kind of robotic. We know we sign them up. This is what we do. And why do we do those things? Because the Jewels are saying that they work. That's why I do a lot of the things we do. Somebody, my Bev told me today, you're a superstar. Because she asked me in our meeting, she said, can you send me what you're sending people? That little blurb about, hi, I'm Crystal, I'm a mom of two, whatever. And I sent it to her, and she said, you're a superstar. I'm like, nope, I'm just really good at stealing from people. That's what made me a great teacher, is I would walk into a classroom and say, I'm going to do that. Like, it's going to become mine, and it might look a little bit different for me than someone else, but just be willing to steal from everyone. Be watching those YouTube videos, be watching those trainings, and be coachable. Okay. So be ready to steal from everyone. What are we doing on time? All right. And even a system for posting to your team pages, even though you don't have team pages right now, but you want to be establishing yourself as a leader on the pages that we do have. So go and try to find something. Like I've already gone to Pinterest and tagged, or what do you do there? Pinned a lot of healthy things. And so now all I do for my customer page and my team page, what the health stuff that I'm bringing forth, I just go to Pinterest and I find a new one. But it's already a system in place. And when I have more time, I go add more pins. But that way, every day, I'm not sitting here going, what am I going to post today on my pages? I already kind of have this pool of pins to post from. So think about the systems. The systems are so important. System for professional development. Mine lately has been in bed at night, I'm going to read, and I'm going to read 2 chapters a week before I start on television. And so sometimes I'm not watching television until Sunday night, but something has to be in place or I'm not going to do it. And I'm just going to sit around and watch television. And if you're not growing, your business isn't growing, because the biggest indicator in your success is you and your character, not all this other stuff. So be working on you, be intentional about your growth as well, and look for the systems within systems to save your steps and save you time. So I want to just really quick, I don't know if Angela has anything, but Karen and Jess, I know were thinking about this and they were going to share. I'm going to go back to speaker view or gallery view, whichever this one is. And really quick, if you guys want to share anything real quick that's been, you want to touch on, reinforce, a little healthy system hint that has helped your business in. Jess, go.
Okay. Hey guys, I just wanted to share what has really helped my business is making sure that I time block and commit to whatever that time block is. So my Monday really got away from me and my Tuesday really got away from me this week. So last night I sat in my bed. I was like, I have to time block for tomorrow. My husband's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I got to figure out what my day's doing, because if I don't figure out what my day's doing, then I'm going to spend half my day figuring out what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And so I did that. And I will tell you, I had a million things to do today. I had this call. I had another live that I needed to do. I had a play date. I had a follow. I had a bunch of stuff to do today. And when I sat down and I actually figured out the time that I would need for each of those tasks, number one, it was much less overwhelming. Number two, it actually required much less time than my brain exploding, going, oh my gosh, I got so much to do. It really helps with that. And then as I go through my day, I get to check it off, which is like my total OCD type A personality. It gives me, I feel like I'm having success throughout my day, which is good. So that's my what works for me is time blocking. If I don't time block, I don't get a lot of my time. If I lose a lot of efficiency within my time.
And the March contest kind of gave her a checklist every day, and that's really helped her as well, because she sat down and saw it and went with it. And then I'm going to piggyback on that. Angela posted a video tonight about the DMO Success Guide, Daily Method of Operation. Is that what you wanted to share? You want to share that? We cannot hear you. It's your headphones. It's always your headphones.
Gotta get new phones.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Well, I put them in because Jason doesn't want to hear me, but then y'all can't hear me. So anyway, so I got this DMO book today, and guys, it's amazing. So I just wrote my goals. Y'all want to see what my goals are? See if you can see them.
1,000 sales volume.
At least, yeah.
450 total size.
Yeah, so it says team size.
Oh, team size.
We're at 383 right now. Contact at least 100 people this month, which really I probably need to up that. 2,500 commission. Team PV, 36,000. So we were at like 31,000 last month. Total team PV. 3 new customers, 3 new ambassadors. And I'm trying to think if there's something else. So yeah.
Can you show us the daily method checklist? Because that's what really gets my blood all excited. Like it pumping.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
I need this. I don't know about you guys, but I needed something that I could check off. So here we go. So it tells you personal posts. So you have your daily Facebook posts. Then you have add 3 new friends on Facebook, which at the meeting this weekend, Kayla, who spoke to Senior Ruby, talked about like she always adds people before she goes to bed.
She said 20 people a day.
Is that how many she adds every day to her Facebook?
She adds 20 people a day in the evening so that when she wakes up and she has her business hours, like she already knows, like approve, start those conversations, contact.
Yeah. Say affirmations, review goals, birthday wishes, message 3 to 5 people. So that's building relationships, asking questions, whatever. Follow up, potentials, customers, team members, whole team. Daily phone call, 3 new contacts, exposure opportunities, personal development, so training video and reading, and then today's tasks and notes. How awesome is that?
It's awesome.
I mean, it goes along with the contest pretty much, but I think this, like, then you can write it down and you can keep track of really where you're going.
I need that book. Will you just like screenshot that page? Because I feel like even if people can't get the whole book right now, like maybe they could make their own DMO journal and they just kind of follow that. Because that to me, that's the punch, you know, like that page, and it really keeps people in line. So I would love it if you could do that. That's amazing. I want the whole book, but I really want.
Yeah, it was. They had a smaller one. This one was 30, I think. And I paid for the cheapest shipping, and it still came in like 3 days.
Yeah, you got it so fast.
So, I'll scan it in or something and post it.
Yeah, hook us up. All right, Karen. I can't hear you. You're muted. Hold on.
I don't have my earphones on.
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback off of what Jessica said. Time blocking is key for me. I spend some time on the weekends because I work all week. I'm gone. So and my weeks look different. My working hours are the same, but after work is not the same. Like I had a chiropractor appointment. I might have church. I might have, various appointments, and I have to work around that. So I really, on the weekends, I look ahead at the week. I fill in my calendar with all the stuff that I have to do, and then I plan out when I'm going to do I try to do a power hour. That's what I try to do. I try to, fit it into the nooks and crannies of my day as I can. So if I have a lunch break, if I have a little recess time, if I'm waiting in line, obviously I'm trying to throw things in. But I am finding for me, trying to block off a solid hour, and that's another Carrie Wilkerson kind of thing. And I try to fit that in. Where am I going to fit that in? Some days it's really hard. Some day it may only be a 30-minute power hour. But that's kind of where I try to do my IPAs and following up with my customers, following up with my prospects, reaching out to people. And before I do that power hour, it's kind of like I don't sit down and figure out, okay, during that power hour, let me look through my cards. Let me look through my notes. I've already figured out who those people are, what I need to do. So, and, I go to the bathroom, get my water, get everything, let my family know, hey, power hour. I have a little diamond neon lamp, and my family knows when I'm in the office and I turn the lamp on, do not disturb mama, because that's been a really cool signal for them. They can kind of, because sometimes I'm just organizing something and it's not like they can't talk to me, but they know when that lamp is on, mom needs her time to get things done. So a power hour has been really good.
That's cool.
There's an app that I like. It's a list making app. I don't know if you're a list maker. See if you can see. Okay, it looks, oops. Sorry.
The dog did not see the lamp.
Hey, Tim.
He does not know what that lamp means.
Okay, so it's a list making app. So I have a list for Plexes, for home, errands, a grocery list, phone calls I need to make, my little target list, online purchases that I need to do. So if I go to Plexus, it's got my whole list of what I need to do, and it's right on my phone, and I can add to it. And then if you can see, I have some stuff starred. I try to look over before I go to bed, what are the things I have to get done tomorrow during that block. And then the cool thing with it, you have a space, you can star on any of your lists, but you have a place for all your stars. And then it breaks it down. Here's my Plexus stars. Here's my work, my school. I have one big thing that I needed to get done. At home this weekend, was meal planning. So I really like that list. That's been really helpful.
And what's the app called?
It's called Wunderlist, but it's spelled WUNDERLIST. And I think it's I think you have to pay for it, but I don't think it was very much. I don't remember how much it was, but it was worth it to me because it really does. I've got my phone with me all the time, so I can constantly, like when I'm looking at my Plexus list, I might have 20 things on there that I really want to do, and it's overwhelming to look at it all. But if I look the night before, like, this is what I need to get done tomorrow, and then you can, once you check it off, it disappears off your list, and it does this little bling. So I love that when I check it off and it goes bling, like, woohoo, got something done. So that's something that I really like. I'm like you, Crystal. I do photo albums and notes to save anything I can do to save time. And even I know I don't know if you guys have probably noticed, like in the Slim Challenge, I even cheat a little bit on my Slim pictures in the morning because, it's a different group of people, the newbies anyway. So they don't always see those same ones. I know you guys do, but I am running out the door in the morning. So I don't always have time, even if I'm taking my Slim in the morning, I don't always have time to stop, snap a picture, load it up, go on my way. And even I've done that and think, when I get to school, I'll put it in there. And I'm like, sometimes I don't have time. So this way, some of my selfies with my pink drink, I just put them in my photo album called Favorites. I have a favorites list, the ones that I use all the time. And after a while, I've built up quite a big library of me and my pink drink. And so I can always at any point pull one of those up. And, anything I can do to save time, like Crystal said on that. This book right here, have you guys heard of The Miracle Morning?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this book right here is an amazing book. And this guy was a network marketer, and now he goes around, does speaking engagements and all that stuff. He's amazing. But he developed a system he believes in doing like getting up an hour earlier and getting in a mindset. And so he has a system called Savers, SAVERS. And so I've been getting up an hour earlier, and this is what I've been working on. I'm still not good at it, but Savers the S stands for silence, which is meditation. The A stands for affirmations, the V for visualization, the E for exercising, the R for reading, and that's your personal growth reading. And then the last S is for scribing, which is journaling. Like, these are all things that top leaders in our industry tell us are super effective for helping change your mindset. And he believes in getting up and spending an hour. Like, if you did 10 minutes of each of these, and you can, your exercise might be 20, your journaling might be 5. You know what I mean? And he goes into detail about how to do that. So like, I've been getting up and I only do about 5 minutes of meditation, where I'm just trying to block everything out of my mind, start with a fresh slate, don't want to have any outside thoughts coming in. I kind of do, in a different order, I do my Bible studies, kind of my reading. I do my Bible study, and I have some prayer time. And then right after that, I do some personal growth. I try to read a chapter in personal growth. And then I do my visualization, which is my dream board. I really spend some time trying to look at my dream board and visualize myself in that Lexus, and visualize myself with that check, and visualize myself at the next rank. I've got my little Ruby picture up there going on. And then for affirmations, one of the things I've done to save time is I've recorded myself doing affirmations. So then when I start getting ready for work, I listen to the recording over and over and over. So I'm hearing my positive. So
and what was that app? You use an app for affirmation recordings.
It is called Repeat. Let me see. Repeat It Again. And it looks like it's that little blue one with the arrow. That's called Repeat It Again. And the way that works, you open it up and you can do 9 different blocks. And then each block down here where it says repeat times, if I want it to repeat 9 times, I think it's got 2 minutes of recording on each one. So if I want to have one just for plexus, if I want to have affirmations for home or for my spiritual journey, you know, and you can do up to 2 minutes, and then you can set it down here. I want to repeat that 6 times, and it'll just play it over and over and over and over. You listen to it. You can listen to it in your car, you know. So I kind of like that too. So that kind of helps. But I do try to sit down and really read them. On the weekends, I really spend some time reading them and saying them out loud. And I also use scripture as affirmations. So I use the scripture, you know, where, you know, if you have faith like a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move, and it will. I mean, I believe in what the Word of God teaches. And so I just have to continue repeating some of the scriptures, you know, and that kind of helps me with my belief too.
And Sheila, I think it was Sheila Medina. She says this, I think it's her that says the same thing. Like she used to put on like positive affirmation CDs in her car, and her kids will be like, please, Mom, can we listen to something else? And she's like, nope, we are going to have a beautiful day and we are going to go and tackle the world. You know, like that's what they listen to in the car. And her kids are like, oh, but you know, what was it doing for her kids too? Just like putting that track on repeat. And if it's in your voice, you know, from your phone and you're listening to it in the car, even more for your kids, you know. So that's
well, and he has, like, I read the whole book, like what to say when you talk to yourself, which is amazing, and it's all about affirmations, and I recommend that too. What's great about his book is on each of those areas he has chapter that really focuses on how that benefits you and what research shows. It's real easy to read. I mean, you guys, I've literally underlined gobs. He's got great, so it's an easy, quick read, but I really like that. So I'm kind of looking over a list. I was trying to look and see. I kind of use a combination, Crystal, for following up with both new customers, ambassadors, and potentials. That's still evolving, but I have been using an index card system for a long time. I'm starting to combine it with a book that I can carry around. So what I'm trying to do, I think now, I've been listening to a lot of Amy Paul and Bridget Wright, and I listen to them all the time. And they are big believers in something you can carry with you. And I can grab the cards for the day out of my box. That's what I've been doing, is grabbing the cards for the day and taking them with me to work. So when I get a few minutes, I can follow up. But I'm just finding I get people sometimes and I don't have my cards. They're in a different box, or they're in a different day, or they're in a different, I'm like, if I have my list, you know, I can have it with me. So I'm starting to like a combination where I'm putting all my potentials, my Frank's list here, and adding to them. And then as they sign up as a customer or a team member, then I make a card for them. And try to put them on a schedule of follow-up. So if they're new to the products, I want to make sure, like, hey, on day 1, I'm posting this, and then on day 3, I'm checking in on them, and then on day 7, I'm, like you said, give them Candida stuff. So I kind of put them on a schedule. And my cards are color-coded too. So, like, if they're potential customers, they're on white. If they're a preferred customer or retail customer, I put them on yellow. And if they started out white and then they go to yellow, I just staple it on top, because then I still have all my notes And then so here's somebody that's been in our Slim Challenge. She was in our January Slim Challenge. And I started reaching out to her in May of 2016, and I have all my notes. And look how many times I followed up with this girl.
Yeah.
They're all here, right? Well, then she bought a Slim, she bought the sample pack. I put her as a customer, and all my people in the Slim, I keep separate. I carry those cards with me every day during the Slim because I still have a couple people. I have 7 people in it this week, and 2 people haven't really posted anything yet. So I texted him today like, hey, hope you're, how's it going? Have you had a chance to get in the group, whatever. But then she bought, as a wholesale ambassador, the triplex. So she's got all 3 colors. And so I'm following up with her. But if I ever want to go back and look back at some of my other notes, it's there. And it also is kind of a neat history there. So trying to think, my weekends are big. If you work full-time, I don't know how many of you guys work full-time, but if you're working full-time, I find for me, my weekends are my big, I can actually, spend obviously a lot more time on a Saturday, Sunday. So I try not to overschedule with a lot of stuff. I want to really spend a lot of time with my Plexus business because that's when I can really chunk off big amounts of time. I try to do a lot of my phone calls to team members or whatever on the weekends, and my weeknights are a little bit more reserved for, appointment calls or whatever. I'll do either one. If somebody needs to chat, I can do a trading call, but I kind of play it by ear. But I spend a lot of time, like I said, on Saturday. I try to do my meal planning for the week. I try to figure out my time block. Where am I going to do, the rest of my week? So trying to think if there's anything else I can think of.
April, I just saw your questions. How many times do we reach out to the same person? I think the last training was on follow-ups, and it was all kind of like strategies. It talked about following up too soon and too early and just giving them touches. And I'll tag you in that after. It just kind of depends on them. You don't want to over follow up, but you also don't want to only be talking to them about Plexus. You want to talk to them about both. And so I think that is all explained on the one we did 2 weeks ago. So I will tag you in that one after, because that's exactly what that talked about, because that has been a huge question. Just love on them. Sometimes I get a customer from saying, hey, Merry Christmas. I hope you had a Happy New Year. Oh, I need to buy Plexus today. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So don't always just say, hey, I was wondering, when you're going to buy Plexus. So I kind of gave a guideline about that in the other video. So I'll go ahead and tag you in that. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And then if y'all have any other questions or need us for anything, y'all can ask. Okay, hold on. I always mess this up.